strictly just Call of Duty and things going inside the Call of Duty community. That can be some of the drama. That can be pretty much anything. Just whatever is newsworthy from the day, and give a video about it. Give a place for some discussion that's maybe a little more comfortable in comment sections or on Twitter replies like that. So all the information we got here today was from Dexerto. So thank you guys for putting up all that so we can have a good topic of conversation and work on all of this together. So first piece we have today is this week's 2K, February 26th 2K, and the results and pro point standings after that. So the first point we have today is the results. So in first place, we have OpTic Gaming coming in at first, getting 20,000 pro points, or not 20,000, 2,000 pro points, and $2,000 worth of hard cash to go and enjoy as they please. E6 with second place with 1,200 pro points and $1,000. Envy and FaZe in third, fourth, getting 800 pro points. Then E United, Rise, Luminosity, and Gosu Crew all making it into the top 8, getting 600 pro points each. And a little bit something that is interesting, I think this is the first time we've actually seen E United out of the top placing in 2Ks in a very, very long time. And that brings up the question, are they dying out a little bit? Are they choking a little bit? And that's very unlikely, but it's something fun to think about. Are they choking these big matches, especially after coming into ESWC, not placing in pool, having to play an open bracket, and then losing and not even getting in there? But again, at the same time, you had a fantastic performance at MLG Atlanta and really proved how good of a team you are. So was this just a fluke in their performance, or is this something we should see as a kind of fall of their ability to win and compete and perform and play well? So there's that. Also, with this week's 2K, OG now takes the top spot of pro point standings for the first time in all of Infinite Warfare, overtaking E United, Fate, and then FaZe and Rise are in the third and fourth spot for that. So again, OpTic is not, they've played well. We're not saying they haven't played well, but their start is not what it was in comparison to Black Ops 3. And the way that the standing works and the way everything was, they have not really played at their top best, but they definitely could be playing a lot better. And that's something we should always remember, is that no matter what, OpTic is not a team to doubt. They will work hard, they will become the best, and they will be the best. And now we're seeing their overthrowing and taking over the pro point ladders, and that's really good. And then you have E United, FaZe, and Rise. E United, obviously, like I just mentioned, has been playing really well, and I enjoy watching him play. And as I've watched him play the last couple of 2Ks, and then watching Atlanta, and then watching parts of Paris, they're definitely a good team. There's no need to doubt that. They're good. They're intelligent. They know what they're doing. But they're also a very young squad with some very young new players to the scene. Minus Silly, who's been here for a little while, but even then, if you were to ask me, Silly isn't the big name inside of the E United roster. It's Gunless. Gunless is fantastic. That kid plays out of his mind every tournament. He never performs poorly. He always plays well. So, yeah, that's that. That's the standing. With relation to the results, some surprises again. EU United placing 5th to 8th. I think that's one of their lowest performances we've seen in a long time. So, unfortunately, I didn't catch the match, but I do really wonder what happened there, that they lost. And then Gosu Crew making it into the top 8. I don't know if Gosu Crew has made it in the top 8 before. That's the first time I've heard of them getting in the top. Rise Nation placing also 5th through 8th, which kind of sad because, they are a top 4 team right now, so they dropped a little low. LG coming up, that's great to hear. FaZe and Envy both finishing in 3rd and 4th. A little conversation, something that might be interesting to talk about, is FaZe and how they're playing as a team and as a roster, and how they're a very good team, but they have not played as well as they did in Advanced Warfare. The only win they have had in IW was the Invitational, the PlayStation Invitational, which, not taking away from their win, but it was the start of the game. A lot of teams didn't really go, and a bunch of these Invitationals, I mean, it was, yeah, it was a win, but is it really a win when you don't have these other top name teams in there? So that's something to look at. And we've had Roster Mania on the rise right now. We've had Roster Mania primarily in the EU scene, which is also another really interesting idea or concept when you think about it. Why is it that the EU scene is having Roster Mania, but the NA scene isn't? And the reason is that just the EU scene is not up to par with the NA scene, and that's known. We all know that they're not up to par with the NA scene. And right now, I feel like there's this huge battle between the EU teams to see who really is the best and who's going to place on top. And that's very, very important. And I think that's why that's Roster Mania is so big in the EU right now. But we haven't seen it in the North American teams because these NA teams are still placing well. Like, it's very bipolar placing, but it's good placing. FaZe, I think, is a perfect example of a team I thought would roster change forever ago, but has not dropped their roster yet. So that's something really big. With the 2Ks and the way that it works, these 2Ks are important. These teams can't be, if they really want to do well, they have to perform. And teams like Cloud9 aren't even in the top 8. And that's almost surprising, but almost not surprising. Cloud9 is such a strange team right now that's in such an awkward position. They have not played well in their last couple of tournaments. From what I remember, they didn't. They completely bombed at Atlanta, losing all of their pool. And I think the same with ESWC. They didn't play well. I do think they were there. I can't remember, but I do know that they've just shit the bed recently, and then losing pro points because of fights during a tournament. Cloud9 is a team right now that has so many problems. It's the whole team's just not benefiting. There's some really great players on there. Excluding my personal bias against Aches, and I don't like him, and I've openly spoken about how I don't like Aches, and I never have. But, Lacefield is so good. Assault is good. I can't remember their fourth, which is awful, so whoever it is, apologies, I can't remember. But, some of these players who don't deserve to be in that situation. And Assault was a child in Atlanta. If I had been the owner of Cloud9, I would have kicked his ass off the team instantly. He would have been gone. There was no chance he was staying on that roster while I was an owner of the team. He would have been out. So that's that. We got some big things in the esports world. Here's a little bit of extra stuff. Some esports sort of news. Scump leaves, or not leaves, but moves out of the OpTIc house to, from what most of us are assuming, is go live with his girlfriend in wherever she lives. And personal opinions aside, hope him the best that moving stays there. Hopefully he visits the OpTIc house often before tournaments and gets there so we can have that good team connection. Also, we have Team Pomage versus Team Sprat. So if you guys are into sniping and you enjoy that community, Pomage and Sprat, FaZe Sprat, OpTIc Pomage, are doing their Grind Squad Clash of the Clan, even though they're not really a clan, but Team Pomage, I can't remember who it's made of, nor can I remember all of Sprats, but in the video I'll put up a picture of both of them while I'm talking about this, and you can take a look and see what you want to do. But go tweet at them. If you love the sniping community, you love sniping, go tweet at them, tell them who you're repping, who you're rooting for. I do know that Jev is on Team Sprat, though. Don't count out Jev. I think he could be a complete factor that could change the whole damn montage tournament. But they have a week to record. They have to bring out clips. The whole squad is just going to go grinding. It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. So Guys, this has been Night Train. Tell me your thoughts in the comments about doing a kind of weekly news about Call of Duty esports, or hell, I could even do Halo. I could do Gears of War. I could do CS:GO. CS:GO would be a little more difficult because I'm not too in tune with it, but we can definitely try. So there you go, guys. This has been Night Train bringing some special esports news. And keep yourself informed, and let's get out there and let's make Call of Duty better. Deuces.